We're back, Debbie and I. We're going to talk about the scandalous hypocrisy of the left and of the Democrats. My favorite example here is Cori Bush, who is being interviewed and is being asked about why she thinks it's okay to promote defund the police while she is spending large amounts of money, $70,000, $100,000, $200,000 on private security for herself. And here is her brazen response. Listen.
If I end up spending $200,000, if I spend 10 more dollars on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen.
So, I mean, let's take let's take this in. I mean, let's interpret what she's saying. I mean, first of all, I take it that she's saying that security does protect you. I mean, why would she have private security if it didn't protect her? So she goes, yeah, it protects me. And she is implying, it's me. I mean, here I am.
I'm special.
Yeah, I'm in the arena. I'm getting it done.
Right.
So I deserve a level of protection that the peasants don't deserve. That's the implication of what she's saying, isn't it?
It's exactly what she's saying. She's saying what's good for me isn't good for you. That's what she's saying.
And you would think a normal person, when saying that, would be like, well, I recognize that there is some apparent contradiction between defund the police. But no, she'll talk about her own private security and defund the police
at the same time.
In the same sentence.
In the same sentence.
With the kind, and I think what that shows is that for these people, it's not really hypocrisy. Because see, hypocrisy would imply the ordinary person and I are on the same plane, so I can't justify treating them differently than me. Her point is, I'm not on the same plane. I'm a superior individual. I'm an aristocrat. They're peasants. Mm-hmm. So no, obviously I deserve security. Obviously they don't.
And she has a lot to do. That's why she wants to be safe. She has a lot of she has a lot of politicizing things to do. And how dare us?
And she says that because she's so defund the police, like people are after her, they're threatening her.
Right.
So the security is fully justified by all that. Let's turn to her buddy. This is another one of the left-wing squad members. This is Rashida Tali, and she's unleashing on Rand Paul because he's against the mask mandate. And yet, hours earlier, in Michigan, I believe, Wayne County, Michigan.
Yep.
She is seen dancing at a wedding.
Yep.
And you got a cramped group of wedding guests. They're all holding hands. They're hugging members of the crowd. So again,
and the footage was taken down because they know how hypocritical it looks. So it says, that the footage was actually taken down from the.
I guess the band posted some of the footage that played at the wedding.
Right.
And so this is it. It's not that they think. They think nothing of violating these ordinances.
Right.
They just don't want to be seen to do so. It's very similar to AOC, where she's like, mingling, chatting, and then suddenly the photographer shows up. She whips on her mask, takes the photo, and then 2 minutes later, mask is down.
Well, as you know, I mean, I wear a mask, as you know, and that's my choice, right? But I'm not a hypocrite about it. I don't tell people you need to do this, and then I'm over there not doing it. I've been vaccinated and I feel good about it, but that's my choice.
Well, I mean, your point has been from the beginning that if these Democrats were serious, they would apply a standard across the board. Even take Fauci, right?
Right.
Did you hear Fauci say one word about Obama's big party?
No, of course. He doesn't say about Obama's party. He doesn't say anything about the border. So he's not consistent. That's the problem. And if these people were consistent with their rhetoric, then we would be a little bit more apt to believe them and to do what they say, or let's put it this way, do what they recommend, right? Because this is still a free country. So, but that's not what they do.
So when they blame, they blame the Trumpsters. I mean, first of all, let's be clear. The groups that are least vaccinated are African Americans and Latinos. If you were to identify two groups with the lowest vaccination rates, but of course the Biden administration isn't going to blast them. Let's blast the blacks, let's blast the Latinos. So what they do is they pretend like there's a third group, Trump supporters, who are the least vaccinated, which is actually not the case. And then they blast those guys. But my point is, they don't realize, or they do realize, that their hypocrisy is contributing to a level of distrust in which they are the reason that people are skeptical of the vaccine.
They are the reason. Remember when Trump came up with the term, what was it, the Operation
Warp Speed.
Warp Speed, right? the left was like, oh, I'm not doing anything that Trump, puts out. I'm not going to take the vaccine. Oh, no way, Jose. And then the vaccine comes out. Oh, now that we're in charge, the vaccine is suddenly good. So, it just really.
Let's look at John Kerry here. There's a report that simply looked at the trips that John Kerry has taken on his private jet. Now, it's one thing if he says, and in fact, John Kerry did say, he goes, well, listen, you know what? I got to take my jet. What do you want me to walk to the climate change conference? I got to get there quickly, right?
Exactly.
But he has taken evidently this year alone more than 20 trips, and most of them are to Martha's Vineyard, where Kerry owns a huge, obviously not exactly climate-friendly mansion.
Right.
So once again,
and it's on the coast, right? So it's going to be like flooded soon, right?
According to the latest UN estimates. Yeah, I don't see them building a huge, fortress to keep out the water when the oceans rise. So once again, you got case after case after case of these, quote, superior human beings who live by a different standard.
Right. Well, as I've said, they are exactly like the Chavistas in Venezuela. They are cut from the same exact cloth, not a similar cloth, but the same exact cloth.
Talk about the Chavista hypocrisy.
So I have a couple of things. This is actually pretty old. It's from 2012, but it's worth mentioning. So Chavez's daughter, back Hugo Chavez, before he passed away, poses with dollar bills. She's actually here on, I guess she put it on Instagram, and people were just outraged because at the time people were really eating whatever they could find on the street. Some people were even eating dogs, cats, whatever. And here she was posing with all this money. I mean,
flaunting it.
And so they, basically said, listen, this is really bad. It shows a lack of empathy, and it shows a huge hypocrisy. But that's not all. Then later, some of Maduro's cronies have children that have decided to live luxury abroad. Here is, shows, well, this is basically no to the dictadura. So some people are just, protesting. Right. But it says, that they've been accused of hypocrisy by Venezuelans struggling to feed themselves after it emerged that many children and cronies of senior officials are living abroad in luxury. So, of course, it's just, it's very similar to the way that the left behaves here in America. And I always point to it. I say, you know what? This is the exact same thing. And also very similar is the way the opposition reacts to it. It's almost as though they've been defeated and there is no fighting back.
They're always caught napping. They're always shocked by what the left is doing, as if you can't,
my goodness,
you can't look at a wolf and determine its character. Exactly. You're like, oh my God, it's a wolf.
Exactly. And so, again, it goes to the heart of who these people are and why we have to react in a way that actually makes people do something about it.
We need to show some real fight, but we also need to kind of, and this is a tough job because of the media, because of the thick fog produced by the media, which is part of the Chavista class in this country. So the media itself is creating a squid-like cloud of obfuscation. So people have to sort of see through it to realize, I mean, the evidence is all around you. You don't have to be a genius to see what's happening at the border. You don't have to be a genius to see all these people, Obama's party. They're lording it around. So they want to establish, I think, an aristocracy in America, and they want the conservatives to be a second class or perhaps even captive population.
They're peasants, for sure.
We're the peasants, and Absolutely. They are overlords, and that's their model.
Exactly right.
That's their model. Yep.